You're listening to a Frequency Podcast Network production.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
This is the Brock and Dalby Podcast.
Welcome to Thursday. My name is Brock.
I'm Dalby.
It's hard to believe that today officially marks the 10-year anniversary of the Tragically Hip's final concert.
That is a crazy time in our country. Like, just so many people were glued to that show, even that tour. Like, as the Hip started west and made their way across the country doing those final shows, it was hard to find anybody that wasn't talking about the Tragically Hip at that point.
You know, I think the Tragically Hip's final concert is one of those few moments in life where you can go, where were you when that, you know, a lot of people have like the where were you when the moon landed or where were you when 9/11 happened. I think for Canadians, two big moments is where were you when Sidney Crosby scored the golden goal?
Yes.
And then where were you when the Tragically Hip played their final concert?
The funny thing is the answer for me is the same for both. It was just different locations of a bar called the Canadian Brew House.
Name?
We were there drinking super early for the golden goal, and then I was working because I was in Saskatchewan at the time, and the Rough Riders were playing, and I got asked to host. They hired me to host the Rider game at this bar, and I remember telling them, like, guys, nobody cares about football. Even in Saskatchewan, no one cares about the football game tonight of all nights.
Yeah.
But they had the game audio on.
They picked the football game over the Hip?
I love that company. They did me a lot of good, but
That's sacrilegious.
There were some of us, they had these little speakers that connected to the TVs, so some of us were gathered around that. And that's how we experienced the Hip's last show.
Oh my God, that's horrible.
Yeah. Although I did make up for it. Before I left the house, I opened this because CBC was live streaming on YouTube.
Yeah.
I opened that live stream, and when I got home after the football game, I was able to rewind it.
Oh, because they took that down really fast.
They did, unless you didn't refresh your browser, in which case I kept it open for 3 days.
I can't believe they picked the football game over the concert.
Contractual obligations, beer sponsors, all that stuff.
I guess, yeah.
It was also Saskatchewan. It's basically religion.
I'd see, for me, it was like, I remember it was all, like you said, it was all everyone was talking about.
Oh, yeah.
And like, I think it was on a Thursday like today is. And I was working. I was doing an afternoon show in BC, so it was like the tail end of my show because it started Western time.
Right.
I was with the receptionist, and we were in the studio live streaming it as well. And then immediately, as soon as my show ended, just like beelined it straight to like the one bar in Terrace, BC.
That was showing it?
Where like I couldn't even find a place to sit because it was packed. It was like everyone in town gathered to this one bar to go watch. And then it was like this whole... an interesting mix of emotions, which I'm sure like wherever anyone that's listening watched, it was this mix of sadness and this mix of joy and celebration at the same time, like watching grown men stand with a Labatt 50 in their hand and tears in their eyes at the same time, you know?
That was the thing though, was like, obviously there was the emotion of Canada's favorite band, and I know there's someone listening, so, oh, even like the Hip. Today's not for you, it's fine. But Canada's favorite band was calling it quits. You were never going to see them again. And people had that attachment. And then you had all of the medical stuff and the health stuff with Gord. And so that was making people sad. But then, well, I'm sure you remember, what a concert.
Yeah.
Like, just in terms of if you take all that other stuff away, they just put on a hell of a show.
You know what the best way to describe it is? I think it's a night where like Canadians all gathered to watch the series finale, but you just didn't want it to end.
Yeah. This was your favorite show. It was the one you've been watching since you were a kid, and now it was coming to an end, and not necessarily because it was time to end, but because it had to end.
Yeah.
And that's tough,
Which,
man.
you know what? I mean, not to sound cheesy, I guess that's the one beautiful thing about music is it's kind of just like your favorite TV show is even though it comes to an end, like you still got the music that you can always go back to.
Yeah. If TV has reruns, we still have all those Hip albums that we can go back to.
Exactly.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
We do got friend of the show, Rachel, on the phone. Now, Rachel, you were one of the lucky few people that actually got to be in attendance for that final show in Kingston, eh?
It was electric. Like, there wasn't a dry eye in the house by the end of the show. It was just... It's so hard to describe. Like, it was a once-in-a-lifetime thing that I'm so proud to be able to say I was there.
Yeah, I feel like it's probably one of those concerts where it's like, even if you feel like you have to go to the bathroom, like you cannot leave your seat. You know?
No shot.
No. Like, and I mean, anybody that was, going to the bar or whatever, like, you were gone and you were back.
I would actually be curious to see the stats on like the average drink sales during a Tragically Hip concert versus that one, and whether or not people were drinking to cope or if drink sales were down. Because like you were saying,
you don't want to move.
I'm not leaving my seat.
Yeah, it was like at the beginning of the show, right? They had the big Canadian flag that they passed around.
Yeah.
So like just like being able to say like I was there, I touched that. Like, yeah, it was an experience.
No doubt. And even, I mean, the whole thing of like even trying to get tickets to that tour.
Oh, yeah.
Did you get yours right off of Ticketmaster, or how'd you get your tickets for the show?
Yeah, so I have a desk job anyway still, but I set my alarm, hopped on Ticketmaster, got in queue, grabbed my 4 tickets and checked out.
Now,
I've been pretty lucky that way with concert tickets.
I feel like there was a countrywide work shortage that morning when the tickets went on sale from people just like you who like got in, and especially if you had an office job or whatever, got in at the desk, opened Ticketmaster. I will work when I have the tickets in my wallet. Thank you.
Pretty much. Like, okay, tickets go on sale at 10 a.m. Okay.
Do not call me till 10:30.
Well, we're so jealous that you actually got to be there. And I think you're right. You're one of the lucky few people that got to share a real Canadian heritage moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really cool.
This is the Brock and Dalby Podcast.
Why?
If you have kids.
Why are you doing this?
There's a good reason. You know where this song is from.
I just got really itchy. What are we doing here?
Can you give the answer?
Yeah, this is Golden from K-pop Demon Hunters.
Damn right it is. Now, K-pop Demon Hunters is one of the biggest things for kids over the past like year and a half right now.
Dude, I'm ratting her out, but when this movie came out, my oldest, Alex, watched it like 7 times in the first 3 days.
Kids love this stuff.
You know what's weird, though, is since then, she refuses to admit she ever saw it.
Kids love K-pop Demon Hunters.
Yeah.
You know who hates K-pop Demon Hunters?
Adults? Parents?
Them too. The band Demon Hunter.
Oh, there's a band called Demon Hunter?
Check this out. There is a band, a Christian metal band called Demon Hunter, who is actually suing Netflix and the creators and the people who have the copyrights and trademarks for K-pop Demon Hunter.
Really?
Because they say that it is creating a consumer confusion between their fans and K-pop Demon Hunter fans.
Are they allowed to use the plural of fans? Do they have, like, I've never heard of this band before.
So maybe you've never heard of them. They have been around for like 25 years now.
Buddy, a lot of bands been around for a long time.
Sure, valid point. So what they're saying is they're getting a lot of people that are buying tickets for their shows.
Sure.
And showing up with their kids.
Because they think it's a K-pop Demon Hunter
and then
show.
People are getting mad at them. There's a lot of confusion back and forth. So we know what K-pop Demon Hunter sounds like. This is what Demon Hunter sounds like. Little bit of a different pace.
It's very different genre-wise. Also, production value-wise, there's a gap too.
So an example that they've actually filed this lawsuit already.
Yeah.
Their lawyer in a statement says, as an example, a person spent about $500 on top-tier tickets to a Demon Hunter concert in Albany, New York, which is crazy.
How is that band selling $500 tickets?
I don't know. Maybe they're bigger than we think. Mistakenly taking a 5 and a 6-year-old thinking they were going to go see K-pop Demon Hunters.
Oh, no.
They've tried to ask for a refund, but obviously the band's like, well, like, it's not much we can really do
You
about
bought
this.
the tickets. We don't want to give you the money back. We haven't made this much money in years.
So now they are demanding that Netflix be prevented from using the K-pop Demon Hunter name and are asking for restitution and treble damages as well.
I mean, meanwhile, I'm fairly certain I read a while ago there's a second movie being made the band is technically called, it's like Hunter X or something like that. Like the show is K-pop Demon Hunters, not the band.
So here's the thing. Each of them have their own trademarks. Like this band trademarked Demon Hunter 25 years ago.
Sure.
And then Netflix has K-pop Demon Hunters. So it's like, does the K-pop thing save them in the... I mean, Netflix probably has way better lawyers than this band.
They're going to have way better lawyers. They're going to have more money to fight it. I rarely find myself siding on the side of the corporations, but I think in this case, like, this moment in the world right now is the most famous demon hunter will ever be. I hate to say it, like, I'm not trying to be mean to them.
Well, you know what? You're actually right. They're probably going to get fans of people that are metalheads that are sick of hearing their kids hear this.
Absolutely. And if that's the play here is just for the marketing, then good for them. But I don't see a world where they win this lawsuit.
Also, just kind of like hitting me now, the person who took their 5 and 6-year-old to go see Demon Hunter thinking it was K-pop Demon Hunters, there had to be like opening bands, right? Like that band sounds pretty heavy. There wasn't like 2 or 3 bands before and they were like, a little aggressive, don't you think?
This feels like an odd venue to see this show in.
They're looking at the kids. They're like, don't worry, we're going to go up soon. Don't worry. Throw them in the pit.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
We've got friend of the show, Brother Jay, on the line. Brother Jay, you said you're starting your morning off to celebrate the hip in the most Canadian way possible?
Yeah, I'm cooking up some bacon right now, and I've already brewed my coffee, and I'm getting ready to smoke some trombone hash.
Part of a balanced breakfast if I've ever heard one.
Breakfast of champions, brother. Yeah.
So, I mean, first off, I want to ask, what is your favorite tragically hip memory, or what does the band mean to you, brother?
Man, it means so much to me. Like I was saying in the message there, it was probably before they put out their first album. I seen them at Corcliffe Park
in
Carlisle.
So would that have been in like the 80s or something?
Late 80s, yeah, man. It was May 24 party. It was, I think, one of the last ones before they moved it to Cayuga. And, yeah, seeing the hip. And I think they even came up a couple extra times, like, on top of what they were already playing.
When you see them back in the 80s, do you get the idea? Because obviously, like, they're still not the tragically hip that we know today.
Sure.
When you're seeing them those first few times, did you get the vibe like there's something happening here?
Totally, big time. Like, huge vibe. Like, we just knew this was going to be Kansas band.
Man, that's so lucky to be able to say, like, I was there before. Yeah. You know, everybody has those moments of seeing a band on the rise like that.
It was awesome.
How much did it mean to you personally to watch their growth, and then that final concert, of course, having a memory like that?
To be honest with you, watching that final concert, it just kept bringing back being like so close to them in a backyard environment, listening to them super loud. Like, it just brought back the very first memories of seeing them.
I think like those moments, it makes you feel like you watch them succeed from such a small point. It almost feels like your success, which I think a lot of people would agree with me is that's the best thing that the Tragically Hip did, is they made you feel like you were a part of them.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah, they totally made you feel like you were a part of them.
Yeah, you watch them in the backyard, and you watch them at like these house parties that they are famous for having played before the come up, and then you see them doing arenas and all these other things, and you almost get like, not to make it weird or parasocial, but like you almost get that like proud dad of like you watched them grow up and be successful.
Yeah, that's actually a really good way of putting it. The proud dad. Yeah, totally. Because you just feel so proud that to say that, yeah, this was the hip and they came from Canada and rock and roll, baby.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
If you didn't know, Meta, the company that owns Facebook, is being sued for $1.4 trillion by 29 U.S. states. The states are alleging that the way Facebook and Instagram are operated is very hazardous to children's health.
No kidding.
So this massive lawsuit isn't just about money. Apparently, if Mark Zuckerberg and the company lose, there's a lot of things that could change on the Facebook and Instagram, basically the way algorithms are built and all this stuff.
Yeah,
and
man.
apparently, one of the biggest things that they're saying, which is detrimental to kids' health, and I think everybody's health, is they would eliminate the like button.
Really?
They say one of the main ways that kids get hooked on social media is their addiction to the like count, which I think, like I said, speaks to anybody that's on social media. So the lawsuit wants to end social validation metrics, basically.
Damn. I mean, it is a problem, right? Like, there are a lot of people, kids and adults, like you were saying.
You post and just refresh.
Watching to see that number come up. It's this mentality
It's unhealthy.
of bigger number, better person. If I get more likes on my pictures, even I'll fully admit, I know both of us, we're guilty. When we post videos and pictures and stuff from the show and it gets likes, we're like, yay, we're doing a good job. And it would be so much healthier if that wasn't a thing that any of us had to worry about.
Well, I mean, before social media, it was just when you were a kid, you got new shoes and you went to school and you were hoping people would be like, those are sick.
Everyone would tell you look fast, and that was all you needed to get through the day.
Yeah. You know what? We need to get off of social media and we need to start complimenting each other on our shoes more often. All right. I want to be able to walk into work with light up Hot Wheels shoes and everyone be stoked and jealous about it.
I would be pretty stoked and jealous if you walked in those shoes, brother.
This is the Brock and Dalby Podcast.
We got Jeff on the phone. Jeff, you said the Tragically Hip really connected your family together in a sense.
I'm listening to music constantly, and the Hips, my favorite band, is Canada's band. So my kids all know the Hip, all three of them. But my youngest 16-year-old, he's a pretty talented musician, plays guitar a lot. He's just fallen in love with the Hip, and he's like learned a bunch of their songs, but he's now diving deeper, and he's listening to full albums and coming up with deep cuts for me that I haven't listened to for years. So it's amazing. Cool. And when 16-year-olds are listening to the Hip, they're never going to die. They're gonna be around forever.
It shows you did something right as a parent. Your kid's going to turn out all right.
Yeah, for sure. And just, it's nice to know that you hear old songs that your parents used to listen to. It brings you back. But when a kid becomes passionate about the Hip at 16 years old and shares it with his friends, and he's going to share it with his kids. So
which just goes to show that the rest of us. We lost Gord Downey 10 years ago, but his legacy continues to live on through us and through the youth of today. And as long as that music keeps getting passed around, right?
Yeah, no, it's incredible, and it makes me proud as a parent to hear him play it. So it's a cool experience, and one we share weekly. He's bringing up deep cuts to me, and I'm like, yeah, I can remember when that song came on. I was, a couple of years older than you probably. So
it's cool because you think about it, he's 16 now, which means he would have only been 6 years old at the time of the final concert. So like a lot of this discovery and falling in love with the band has happened since they moved on. But like to what you were saying, Brock, of the idea that like we'll never lose the band because we'll always have the music. Like it's cool to think that like when my kids have kids, their kids might be wearing like Tragically Hip shirts the way the kids now are wearing Nirvana shirts. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can remember my buddy coming back from Toronto. We were 17 years old, and he had the cassette up to here, and he put that on for me, and it was life changing. It was like I don't know who this is, but I can't get enough of it.
You just wanted more.
Yeah, it's incredible because it's just. They're our band. They tell the story of our lives.
Why do you think Canadians are so addicted to the Tragically Hip?
It's the lyrics. It's Gordy. It's just Canadian. The music's just Canadian. The stuff he comes out with.
Rarely do you say that someone can speak for you and through you at the same time, Yeah,
and it teaches you history too, stuff we didn't know, right?
No doubt.
Yeah.
Hey, well, thanks for chatting with us this morning, man.
Appreciate it, guys. Yeah, I'm gonna enjoy it. I'm gonna enjoy the day listening to the music.
Hell yeah, man.
You're doing a great job parenting too, by the way.
This is the Brock and Dalby Podcast.
We just got this voice memo in at 762-555. Of course, we're talking about the 10-year anniversary of the Tragically Hip's final concert, and Ethan was at the concert. But listen to how he got to the show.
Okay.
Speaking of Tragically Hip memories, the day they played their farewell tour here in Kingston, I was working up in Oshawa for this company. I won't name the name. and I had the company credit card. Well, that day he didn't want to let me go to the concert or leave early to attend the concert, so I quit.
Damn.
And he told me I couldn't take the company truck back, so I took the company card. I called a cab from Oshawa and cabbed all the way back to Kingston and made it back for the first song.
Oh.
The cab ride cost $780. $780, well worth it on company card dime.
I need to know, Ethan, did you have to pay that back, or did that get taken off your paycheck?
That's the first question, right? Is, that's a little thing called corporate fraud.
Hey, more importantly than any of that, he got to go to the show.
Made it back in time. That's amazing.
A lot of people spent a lot more money than that to get tickets to that final concert.
You're not wrong.
We've got a good friend of the show, Michael, on the phone now. Michael, we're looking for tragically hip stories, memories. You actually have an interesting connection to the final show, you said?
Okay. Well, I helped set up the last concert. I worked for NASCO, and I set up the last concert when it was called the K-Rock Center.
What was it like being in the building that day?
Well, just handling all their instruments and rolling out all the gear, the stage equipment. It was all we almost rubbed shoulders with a lot of the stars and artists that went to the K-Rock Center, and setting up that concert, having to roll all the equipment down I believe it was Ontario Street to get to the behind the square.
Was it one of those things where you almost felt like a we're not worthy kind of moment, especially touching instruments?
Hallowed ground.
Absolutely. And it was just, that was a blast, and I'll remember that for the rest of my life. But also, my uncle grew up with a couple of them. Now, I'm not sure which couple, but he lives in the Charlotte Lake Mountain Grove area.
Okay.
And that's where he grew up. So he went to school with a couple of them. And I also did home renovations in their producer's home, big mansion on Dog Lake. And the basement used to be the studio, and the producer was getting rid of one of their couches. So I actually had one of their couches that they sat on and wrote music. It was, I've got way too many memories of it.
You had like the most Canadian ass groove of all time in your own home. That's amazing.
It was like, I don't have the couch anymore. I almost wish that I kept it, but it was very memorable, and I grew up with the hip. My uncle was probably their biggest fan.
When you sold that couch on Facebook Marketplace, you should have posted, "This was the Tragically Hips couch." You could have got a pretty penny for that, my friend.
And I had like verifiable stories like that it was actually their couch, because their producer does have a mansion on Dog Lake. So
I'm sure there's photos of them sitting on it in a studio somewhere.
Absolutely.
A certificate of authenticity for each groove.
That is a part, if you think about it, of Canadian music history.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I love the hip.
It's one of those things where, like, I would want to sit on the couch and just see if it had properties. You know what I mean? Like, I couldn't write a song if you put a gun to my head, but maybe if I was on that couch.
It's like Mike, the movie.
Yeah. All of a sudden, my pen starts moving.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
Yeah, there are right and wrong times to engage. Yeah. Okay. All right. I guess we don't even need to do the Hendrix thing if we're just recording this for ourselves.
Yeah, it just makes it feel natural. It's Hendrix, Foxy Lady. Hey, good morning. My name is Brock.
I'm Dalby. So there's a right time and a wrong time to engage in your hobbies, so to speak, to maybe dabble in the jazz cabbage, as you've said before.
You're talking extracurricular activities.
Yeah. There's definitely times where you can, and there's definitely times where you shouldn't. So this story takes us to a court case down in the United States where the jury is sitting for this trial. It is like day 2 of the trial. And I guess they have this rule where the jury is not supposed to see the defendant in handcuffs because it could like warp their opinion of him to see him.
Makes sense.
Makes him look guilty.
Sure.
So they had to take this guy out of the court for whatever. It was like lunchtime. So first they move the jury out so they don't see the handcuffing. And then they move this guy out. The bailiff goes to get the jury so that they can go to lunch. He gets up to the room where they're being kept, and all of a sudden he's like, somebody's smoking reefer in here. And they had to go into the room and be like, all right, guys, listen up. one of the jurors immediately yelled, "I wasn't the one who did that." Just like immediately defensive, which that makes him suspect number one, in my opinion, but neither here nor there. They had to take all of the jurors out of the room and bring them back into the courtroom because none of them would admit that they were the one that was smoking weed.
Oh, they're treating this like high school here.
Essentially, they all got marched in front of the principal one by one.
Let me smell your fingers. I don't know why they always did that.
To see if there's like residue.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you smell like you got drugs on you.
Checking eyes and stuff.
That's the thing, is they were asking them all kinds of questions, and they were trying to do the old, like, listen, if you did, it's not a big deal. You just can't be a juror on the case while you're high. Or they even said, they're like, if you have like a medical permit, like that's your medicine. We wouldn't kick you out for taking Ozempic.
Did they figure out who it was?
No, man. Apparently, after over an hour of individual questioning with the judge, they couldn't reasonably pin it on anybody. They didn't find like a roach. They didn't find a vape cartridge.
I would have laughed so hard if it's like the judge is back there and she's like, got these Cool Ranch Doritos and a Mountain Dew over here. Just leaving them on the table if you want to have some.
Just
like,
a little TV off to the side of the desk that's playing SpongeBob cartoons. And it's like, if you can't keep eye contact, if you keep wandering to the TV, we got him. Get him out of here.
So what'd they end up doing?
They had to mistrial the trial.
Really?
So they had to basically cancel it and be like, this jury is out. Reschedule the whole thing.
Get a whole new jury?
We're restarting this in the fall.
Oh, okay. Well, food for thought for anyone who's ever wanted to get out of jury duty. Just get a little stoned, apparently.
Well, I think it might be dangerous to actually get stoned, because if they catch you, you're in trouble. But don't they make like perfumes that kind of smell like weed, like little colognes and sprays and stuff like that?
Well, I mean, the whole argument is you just show up like reeking like weed, and they're like, you're not fit to be here, and be like, I have anxiety.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what it was. Maybe there was like one dude that was sitting through the trial and was like, oh my God, this is stressing me out.
The details of the trial were so gnarly that he was like, I need to take the edge off.
I've been there, dude. I hang out with some people sometimes, and I get home, and I'm like, God damn, that stressed me out.
I'm sorry, man. We're just working together. It's
there's most definitely days that happens.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
We've got Chris on the phone. Chris, what's your tragically hip story?
So back in 2016, me and three buddies, we got tickets to the final hip show in Hamilton.
Lucky.
Or the third last hip show in Hamilton. Yeah, we couldn't believe it. We got down there. We're staying at Mohawk College because we had a cheap dorm room. And we noticed that there were some people tailgating just outside the college in the parking lot. So we went out and started hanging out with them, meeting people. We met this group of like American guys, good guys. It was nice to hear some people from the States that they loved the hip.
Yeah, that's so awesome.
They were sad that they were, they were sad that, because you're thinking they're just, Canadian band, but everybody in the States liked them too, these people. So they were bummed out that they didn't have any weed. They couldn't get anything across the border.
Right.
And they had, it was kind of affecting their party. So me and my buddies, we had enough of it, so we went back to our room. We rolled up a bunch of joints, put them in a bag, brought it out to them, and just gave it to them. They couldn't believe it. They were so happy. They wanted to pay us money for it. We just said no. We said, just someday pay it forward. When you see some Canadians at a show, if they're in the same boat as you guys are, just treat them with kindness. And they couldn't believe it. They were happy, and that's the kind of cross-border kindness that we need right now.
WWGD, what would Gord do?
True Canadian hospitality, baby.
Absolutely, that's right.
It's weird the things that bond us together. Music, pot, everything in between,
It's great. It's great. I think the hip would be happy with that story too.
They would have approved of the behavior.
I think so.
This is the Brock and Dalby Podcast.
We're getting a lot of really cool stories of people, of their favorite memories, their moments with the hip. We've got Curtis on the line. You got a couple cool stories to share?
Yeah, so like I say, I grew up in Bath, and of course, everybody knew that Tragically Hip recorded in their house down there.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
So throughout the week, if they were home, they actually had two lights on the front porch. One was a red light, one was a regular light. If the red light was on, nobody would approach the house, but you could sit in the park and you could hear them in the house recording.
Oh my God, that's so cool.
And then, of course, like, I think it was 2005 or 2006, I was in high school. I was doing a co-op placement at James Braden Ford. Their van came in on a tow truck because it blew the brakes up when they were on their way to one of the shows or coming back.
Don't tell me you replaced the brakes on the Hips van, did you?
Yeah, I did.
Well, hey, gotta say thank you for taking care of them because didn't hear any stories about those brakes giving out.
No, that was a good thing, though.
Man, that is so cool. Just going back to the whole house thing with the light out there. I mean, usually 9 times out of 10, if you can hear your neighbors, you're pretty ticked off.
You're pissed.
I think that might be the coolest neighbors of all time.
Well, back then, like say, I forget when that was, but like there wasn't a house directly next to it. Like the next house was like, probably about half kilometer. Like there was nobody right next to it. But everybody in the town knew that was their house, and to them it was just one of the neighbors. Nobody paid too much attention.
It's the most exciting red light outside of Amsterdam.
Yeah, pretty much.
Awesome, Curtis. Thanks a lot, brother.
All right, take care. Keep rocking.
Have a good day, buddy.
All right, take care. Bye.
What a cool story, man. That was wicked.
Thank God he knew what he was doing with those brakes.
Now, a lot of people are reminiscing about like where they were on the day of the final show. We got this interesting voice memo here, and you know what? I'll just play it before like I have my opinions and take on it. Here, listen to this.
Jen Kimberly here. Just calling to say good morning and wish my husband a happy 10-year anniversary.
Aw.
Yes, we got married the night that the Hip played their last concert, so we also have a celebration today. So happy anniversary, honey.
Aw.
Cheers to the next 10. In honor of the anniversary, can we play your favorite Hip song? You guys choose. Have a good day.
All right, we'll figure out the song in just a second. But
that's cool that they did that.
It's cool. But imagine getting invited to that wedding and being like, I wonder, I'd love to talk to her and be like, did you put on the show for people?
Right. Like when people get married during like hockey playoffs.
We saw it during the World Series last year.
You got to have the game on. You got to have the game on somewhere.
Yeah, yeah.
Did they have the concert on for people? Or would that be too much of a distraction? Although, hear me out, you time it out right. Imagine your first dance as husband and wife is to a Tragically Hip song right when they start
that would
playing
be so sick.
As it's going through the venue speakers.
Well, even like, I mean, they did probably plan their wedding before the concert got announced, right?
Oh, sure. You know very well you planned that stuff way in advance. But as it was
leading up, you could have been like to the DJ, like, I don't think we're going to need you. We're just going to put the CBC on.
I think we're going to let Gord and the boys take care of it tonight.
You know what the true perk of this was, though? Her husband is never going to forget their anniversary. I guarantee you on that.
Locked in on that day.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
We're playing wrong answers only, and we've got $100 in Lotto 649 tickets to give away. And we all know when you cut onions, it makes you cry. But we are looking for not the scientific explanation. We are looking for the most wrong answer possible.
That's right.
Why do onions make you cry?
Why do I get all weepy every time I go to cut up an onion?
All right. If you're not someone explaining to us why onions make us cry, that does make you a judge. So 762-555, let us know who has the best answer. How about we start with Randy here?
Randy here. Every time I peel an onion, it reminds me of my bank account. And I can't help cry.
Okay, just keep peeling back.
Just keep peeling off bill payments and mortgage payments.
That guy's a dad for sure with that joke. What else we got here? Tanisha?
Hey, it's Tanisha. Onions make you cry because they're the emotional vegetable of the world. They're full of layers, and as soon as you cut through them, all the emotions come to the surface. Can't help but cry.
So she's saying the Onion's emotions make you emotional?
Yeah. It's, hey, we've all been in a room with a sad person before. It's tough to walk out of there positive.
Sure. I mean, you're a psychopath if you watch someone cry. I mean, depending on the circumstances, I guess. Yeah. We got Scott here.
When you got a knife was cutting you?
What was that?
When you got a knife was cutting you?
Wouldn't you cry?
Wouldn't you? But we're not asking why onions cry. Onions don't cry. You can sweat an onion in a frying pan, but we're asking why onions make us cry.
Maybe it's a tit for tat kind of thing.
You make me cry, I make you
cut
cry.
Me open, I'm gonna make you cry. What's another one here? No name on this.
Why do onions make you cry? Consuelo banana hammock.
What's that?
That's a reference to something.
What did he say?
Consuelo banana
hammock.
I don't know.
Oh, that's a Friends thing.
Shame.
Yeah, that's what?
Okay, there really hasn't had anything be good.
God, you gotta be at least one in there.
Let's do Tina here.
It's because you're a female dog.
First of all, Tina, thank you for cleaning up the language, because I think we all knew what you were trying to say. You know what, though? There are a lot of people out there that if you start crying when you cut an onion, like, people take this as a point of pride. I could cut onions all day and never cry a tear.
Real men don't cry
all
cutting
right,
onions.
bro, it's just an onion. Relax.
All right, we'll do one more here. No name on this one.
Aiden here. Why do onions make us cry? Because onions release a chemical that reminds us to pay our bills.
Okay. I think it's Tina.
Yeah, honestly.
The female dog is probably the best answer.
People went in some different directions, and everybody who called in should be applauded for the effort.
Sure.
Except for the Consuelo banana hammock guy. Tina, though, cut right to the meat of it. Maybe not even necessarily a wrong answer, but it was the best one.
A ding and a round of applause. $100 to Tina for this answer.
It's because you're a female dog.
God, the venom in her voice, too. Like, I feel like the next time I cut onions, I'm going to feel bad.
I'm telling you, if you use female dog instead of the B word, it hits differently because it makes people have to think about it.
You got to ponder on it and you go, hey.
It hits you like when you cut the onions and it hits your eyes. That's how it hits, you know?
This is the Brock and Delby Podcast.
We want to say thank you to everyone who shared a tragically hip story or a memory or requested a song this morning. It's been really cool seeing all the stories come in the text line and a lot of the calls that we've got on air here.
You know, somebody earlier asked, like, why is the hip Canada's band? And they listed other bands they liked more or whatever. And it was like, this is why. Because the hip, through their storytelling and through their touring and through their community involvement, made themselves a part of so many people's lives. And that's the stories we're hearing today.
They made them feel like you knew them, right?
Exactly.
We got Diener on the phone. You had a pretty cool encounter with the hip, if you don't mind sharing, my man.
Well, I was a young man, and I was going to Blind River one time, and this car had a flat. And we were just outside of Blind River. So I pulled over. The guy didn't know I run the jack or nothing, so I jacked up the car and I got his tire off, right? So then, so I gave him a ride in town. We got a flat fix. I put it back on. Now it must have been the Tragically Hip's general manager at the time, or whoever he was.
Tour manager or something.
Somebody.
Yeah. So the guy popped up the trunk and he handed me a cassette. He says, "You never heard of these guys, but you're going to know who they are one day."
Get out of here.
I said, "Oh, right on, man." So anyway, so I grabbed the cassette. I headed into Blind River, and there's a big party going on, right? So we put the cassette in the stereo, and it's playing everywhere. And the first song we hear is that, "Down, down, 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 down," and none of us ever heard it. And we start playing it. We played that thing about 5 times in a row. Like the whole album, there it was. It was on that cassette. And everybody wanted it, you know what I mean? Like I had to keep my guard on it.
Do you still have that cassette?
No, I don't have it.
Oh.
I don't. But I'll tell you what we did though. The first thing we did, you know, you used to go cassette to cassette. We made as many as we could.
Oh yeah.
I passed it around, man.
I'm telling you, man, you don't realize it, but you played a huge factor in the Tragically Hip's career. If you didn't pull over that day,
never know.
Lord only knows where they would have been.
Yeah, so like it was pretty cool. I'll never forget it.
You know, it is weird to say, but like Diener stopping on this, you hear a lot of bands where it's like they break down in a town and then they call it quits or whatever.
You're right. You never know what could go there. Although I will say, love the manager. Like, you know how much it costs to get roadside repairs. Guy stops to help him out and he's like, here's a cassette tape. That's a bold move for an unknown band at the time.
We've got a friend of the show, Mike, on the phone. Now, Mike, you said you worked at a restaurant in the kitchen with Paul Langlois, was it? Or how did it work?
Paul Langlois used to be a server there. And he used to bring his guitar with him to work to practice and probably write. And we used to go down to the manor, Lakeview Manor, and watch him play. Which was kind of cool.
And this is before like the Tragically Hip was ever a thing, or at the beginning of it, or
at the beginning.
What a feeling it must have been to go into Chevy's and just see like Paul Langlois on his break noodling away in the corner on his guitar.
Well, if you think about it, it's like anytime like your coworker is like, "Hey, come to my show,"
I
or
have
something.
a band. Yeah.
A lot of people are like, but you got to witness greatness in the making, and you probably didn't even realize it.
Yeah, I know. I didn't at the time. But it was pretty cool to watch him, sit there and practice and play, different songs and stuff and write. And who knows? One of those songs were probably one of the ones that they played.
Who knows? There's someone out there who got a Shirley Temple from Paul Langlois and they don't even realize it.
Oh, yeah.
And this is just proof to everyone out there. You got a coworker or a friend who's playing music.
Yeah.
Go to a show. You never know, man.
I mean, a lot of times you know.
You're right. Sometimes you know.
Sometimes you know.
Sometimes you don't.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
Come on and send a text now. 762-555. Come on and ask a question.
If you nailed nothing else, you nailed the drum solo, brother.
First one in here is just pretty standard. Favorite Tragically Hip song of all time?
Ooh, favorite of all time is tough. I think probably the one that has gotten the most play is Wheat Kings. That one, there's not a bad time for Wheat Kings.
I love No Threat.
No Threat is also
No Threat
really
is
good.
my favorite hip song of all time.
I think my first favorite one was Boots and Hearts. That one spoke to me at a young age. What about you?
I'd say Lonely End of the Rink really spoke to me.
As a goalie.
Yeah. There's not many songs that a goalie can relate to. And it's so Canadian at the same point, right?
Absolutely.
All right, what's another one here? Settle an argument for me. Is it starters or appetizers?
I think both are fine.
Starters feels like a fancy restaurant. Appetizers feels like Boston pizza, pub, bar kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's fair. Where do you stand on tapas?
Tapas is super. Tapas means you're going broke tonight. That's what that
You're
means.
spending money, brother.
And, I know there's a few tapas places around here, and I've been, and they're good. The only problem I have with these tapas places is how come when we order something for the table, and there's 4 people at the table, how come it only comes in 3s? Everything always comes in 3s. Why not just make it 4s?
That's fair. That actually makes a lot of sense. Bring as many small plates as people at the table and stop putting everything in front of me. I get it. I'm the fat guy. It's not all for me.
I'm going to be tapaing my card anyway. So, all right, what's another one here? Not a question, but a statement. Bidets are awesome. That is all.
Okay. Yeah. That's good.
I used a bidet for the first time this summer, actually.
I've always thought about getting one put in my house, but I held off because I didn't want to put it in during the formative years of my kids because I didn't want them to not learn how to wipe properly.
Sure.
I didn't want them to get complacent.
Well, you don't want them to go to somebody else's house and be like,
excuse me, will someone come in here and wash my beehole, please?
Mrs. Robinson, their face down, ass up.
I don't know where your bidet is.
I used a bidet for the first time at my buddy Jason's house a couple weeks ago, actually. And when it hits, I was like, whoa, what's going on?
It's a shocking initial feeling, but once you become used to it, it does make a lot more sense than toilet paper.
Sure. All right, what's another one here? How much prep time do you guys spend for the show every day? Well, we usually come together with at least like 5 or 6 things each, and then we kind of map it out and then see how the morning goes.
I think you're the same as me in that, like, there's not necessarily a specific time period where it's like, I will now sit down and prepare for the radio show, other than like right before the show. Your whole day when you do what we do is like seeing things or reading headlines and going, ooh, that could be something to talk about.
And then the morning changes things, right? Like if there's something big that goes on or people start calling in or whatever, it kind of can just flip on a dime, right?
I'll say this. If you know somebody personally that works in radio, the notes app on their phone is crazy.
Yeah.
It's a wasteland.
All right. Let's wrap up with this one.
Okay.
If you had to permanently replace your hands with a kitchen utensil, what tool do you pick?
Ooh. Do they have to be the same utensil on both hands, or can I mix and match?
Mix match, sure, why not?
Okay. Give me right hand tongs so I can grab stuff, and give me left hand spatula so I can flip things.
Spatula.
Yeah.
And you can also smack around.
That's
too.
right.
Yeah.
I feel like spatula is pretty versatile.
I shouldn't be. I'm picturing you getting hot and heavy in the bedroom now.
Yeah, no.
Spatula in one hand, utensils in the other.
Well, yeah, and then the tongs are doing the Lord's work. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, God.
Want to be part of the podcast?
Leave a message on the Bad Line.
The Bad Line is the answering machine for the Brock and Dalby Show.
To get the number, text the word BAD to 762-555.
Thanks for listening to the Brock and Dalby podcast.